as it concerns the All Progressives Congress. Well, there was a court judgment. I think it was yesterday. The Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, domiciled in Abuja. Actually, according to what we heard, there was a judgment, and we will get to the engineer Michael OZEMENA. He is the secretary of Ikechi Emenike-led executive of the APC in ABIA State, and we want to know what actually happened. Then we get the other side of the story so that we are sure of what the stance of the All Progressives Congress in ABIA State. That's the situation as that is concerned here in ABIA State. Well, Samson.
Yes, Michael, it looks like an unending cycle for the APC. We're wishing them all the best. But just today again, it happened. There was another court ruling or court judgment. However, I am not a lawyer, but I just know that the court said something about the situation of APC in Abia State. Both sides, they have their own narratives to project, but definitely we'll get across to Mike OZEMENA. He speaks for Emmanuel Ndukwe-led executive of APC in Abia State. Then we'll hear from the other side, led by Donatus Nwakwa.
Looks like he's on the line now. He's on the line. Good evening to you, Michael OZEMENA.
Good evening, Mr. Samson. How are you?
Yeah, we have Michael Oni here, Ginika Oloha is here, and also Samson Eze is here. What happened? We got a report something happened at the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja, a federal high court. What happened? We want your side of the story.
Yes, thank you very much. In fact, it is a good day for Abia State, a day that Abia is starting to get closer to the redemption of our people from the backwardness and then the...
What just go straight to the point, Engineer Michael OZEMENA, because of our time.
So
Thank you.
The point is that today at the FCT High Court in Abuja, the appeal for stay of execution of the earlier judgment of November 29, 2018 of the court proclaiming Chief Ikechi Emenike as the candidate of the party was reaffirmed today as the appeal for the stay of execution of the judgment was dismissed for lack of merit and an abuse of court processes. So we are glad that today the judiciary has finally again shown that they are the last hope of the common man. So today what happened in a nutshell is that two charges of execution which he appealed to the court, it was dismissed today. So Chief Ikechi Emenike remains the authentic and the lawful candidate of APC in Abia for the 2019 general election.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Mike OZEMENA. That is your own side of the story. Thank you very much for the update. We hope to get across to you as the story unfolds. Thank you very much, and have a great evening.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
Well, there you have him speak. Engineer Michael OZEMENA is the publicity secretary of the Emmanuel Ndukwe-led executive of the All Progressives Congress in Abia State. But to balance the story, we do have the deputy governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress of Donatus Nwakwa, executive in Abia State, talk about Martins Azubike, right here in the studios of Flow 94.9 FM. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Mike. Good evening, Abians.
You heard what he said as it concerns the judgment. I hope this does not worry you.
No cause for worry. But let me begin by stating the obvious.
Okay.
That there is no faction in Abia APC. Abia APC is led by Honorable Chief Donatus Nwakwa. That is not in context. And the ruling of the Federal Capital Territory High Court is not a new thing. It is still the same ruling of last year, which ruling we have appealed against. And recall that that matter is between Ikechi Emenike and APC National and INEC. he got an order for the National Secretariat of APC to submit his name to INEC as the authentic candidate of APC in Abia State. He tried to enforce that order, but INEC told him that they only take correspondence from national chairmen of parties. That particular order, which was gotten on default of appearance, has been appealed against. Even though the court tried to sit on the ruling so that the records of appeal is not transmitted and the appeal entered, but they couldn't hold on to it for too long. The letter released the records, they were transmitted, and the appeal entered. And at that point in time, that court no longer has jurisdiction to entertain any appeal on that ruling. So what happened that they are celebrating is that the court now sat on the motion for stay and dismissed it. And for us, the court has succeeded in doing nothing, because once an appeal is entered, it automatically in law operates as stay. That means that as long as legal jurisprudence is concerned, there is a stay of execution on that order, the appeal having been entered in the Court of Appeal. And that is why we are not worried. That is why I said it's not a new thing. They don't have anything.
So as it stands now, the candidate Uche and you as the deputy, as the running mate to Uche stands.
Dr. Uchechukwu Samson Oga is still the only governorship candidate of APC in Abia State.
Okay.
Okay, Honorable, let's look at the issue this way. You are telling us that there is no faction in APC in Abia State.
Very well.
But I know very well that there is a secretariat in Azikiwe Road. There is another one down Uzuakoli Road. And it's only maybe the institution called marriage when you have 1 + 1, they say it's 1. Here we have 1 + 1, it's 2. There are 2 chairmen. And some are saying that the president stayed away from the last rally you had here because of the crisis therein in your party.
That cannot be correct. Let me begin by saying that what makes a party is not the secretariat. Anybody can decide to rent a house and paint party colors and put flags and even go ahead to put signboards. But there are structures in a party. And the question to ask, the National Secretariat of the APC in Abuja, who do they deal with when it concerns APC in Abia State? And I can answer that question for free for you. And that is Honorable Donatus Wampa. He is the one who attends NEC. He's the one the party in Abuja deals with. I'm talking about the president not attending rally because there is faction and all that. Who runs the party APC in Nigeria? It is Adams Oshomole, the national chairman, and he was here, and he made it categorically clear that Uchechukwu Samson Oga is the governorship candidate. He was welcomed by Donatus Wampa, who took him round before he left. So I do not see how the president not visiting Abia corroborates the fact that there is faction or the fact that Uche is not the governorship candidate. These are baseless claims that do not stand in the face of logic.
Okay, sir. I know that you are a lawyer. As it stands today, we know that INEC has the sole responsibility of conducting election, and the party, the National Working Committee of the party, has the sole responsibility of electing or nominating any candidate to represent the party. As it stands today, the court has given a judgment. As a lawyer, would you obey the court judgment or will you stand with the party?
It depends on what the judgment says. If the judgment you are talking about is the ruling from the FCT High Court to the effect that Ikechi Emenike is the APC candidate in Abia State, that ruling as of today is in abeyance because it has been appealed against. Until the Court of Appeal makes a pronouncement, that becomes what to be obeyed. Today, we are obeying the court decision, which is in abeyance. And because it is in abeyance, the status quo is that Uchechukwu Samson Oga is the candidate. And that is why INEC has not replaced his name with any other person's name. Because the person that has the onus to obey is the electoral agency, which is INEC. And INEC hasn't received anything that will enable them substitute Uchechukwu Samson Oga's name for any other person's name.
All right. It is still the State of the Nation right here on Flow 94.9 FM, the Flow of God's Own State, today, Thursday edition of the program. Of course, we're dwelling and we're talking about what is happening in the All Progressives Congress as it concerns Abia State. Well, there was a court judgment here today, and the court judgment has caused some reactions, allegations, and counter-allegations, and that is why we're here. That is what we're talking about right now. We're live on YouTube. You can log on to our YouTube page, Flow 94.9 FM, and follow the conversation. Well, Honorable, as it stands now, the other side of you say there is no faction, but we understand that there are two lead executives here in Abia State. Although Donatus Wampa, a lead executive, is recognized by your National Executive Council in Abuja, led by Adam Sochiomole. But the other executive is campaigning for Ikechi Emenike. I mean, I learned they are campaigning word to word, while INEC recognizes your candidature of Uche Oga and Martin Sazubike. It looks so not balanced to me. Are there disgruntled members of your party? Are these people disgruntled members of your party?
Well, you know, in a very large family, you have the good, the bad, the ugly, right? And anybody, because it is democracy, you may not really be in control of all the actions and inactions of members of a particular family or a particular grouping. But for us, we are not worried. We are not concerned, right? If Ikechi Emenike says that he has a good case in what is unfolding vis-a-vis the APC governorship ticket, let him allow the matter to be tried on merits instead of running from court to court, getting interlocutory orders. These are just orders. They are not final judgments, as it were. Even though you call it judgment here, these are interlocutory orders. And mind you, there is a restraining order from a federal high court, Abuja, restraining him from parading himself as the governorship candidate of APC in Abia State. That order has not been set aside. It has not been appealed against by him. But the order he has been appealed against. Why don't he take steps to prosecute the appeal? Let us see what judgment will come out from the appeal. Because even the order he has, I said it earlier on, that order was even gotten on default of appearance. Because the APC lawyer was not in court. The court just gave him that order, hearing his side alone. On a balanced argument or representation, you will see that order will not stand the light of the day. So to that extent, whether he is campaigning or not, we are not bothered. But let him follow due process and regularize his candidature if he has any. But I can bet you that Ikechi Emenike cannot and will never be APC candidate in the 2019 governorship election.
Okay, so as it stands today, I've asked this particular question that I want to ask you now to the other side, the other group. I asked them if actually they want to win election in 2019, and they answered in affirmation, yes. And I'm sure if I ask you, say the same thing. But you quite agree with me that no house goes into any fight and win that fight divided. Do you think you're going to win this fight? I mean, the election in 2019, considering the fact that there's divide in APC in Abia State.
Yeah, notwithstanding, in answering your question, notwithstanding what Ikechi Emenike is doing, we are focused. We are not distracted because we know where he's coming from. We know that he is dancing the music beaten by some people who are against the interest of APC. But I want to assure you that APC Abia is the party to beat in this election. Notwithstanding these distractions, we are focused, we are doing the needful, we are campaigning, and our members are energized every day. So whether Emenike or no Emenike, we are winning this election.
All right, it is still the state of the nation right here on Flow 94.9 FM, and we're looking at what is happening in the All Progressives Congress. Journalists will call it crisis because there are disgruntled members of your party going to court today. But have you considered calling these people and probably talking to them at a reconciliation meeting?
And in addition, sir, I want to know your own terms for peace. We have asked this question to Emmanuel Ndukwe. He was on this platform, exactly where you're seated now. That was where he was. And we asked him, what's your term for peace? And he said, as at then, that there were moves by elders of the party, including former Governor Ojo Zokalu, to bring everybody together. It looks like that venture failed. What are your own terms for peace?
My brother, where we are today, we are on the course to prosecute our elections. If Emenike wants to be a good party man, he knows he never participated in APC governorship primaries that threw up Dr. Uchechukwu Samson Oga as the flag bearer. The only thing he can do if he comes back to the mainstream party and wants to be a good loyal party man, we will welcome him. We will give him a place as one of the leaders of the party. There are several other leaders of the party. And when we win election, if there's anything he needs that he can get, we will ensure that he gets. But today, we are not interested in, just like they said in the Bible, we are not interested in somebody. We are about starting a journey that will lead us to rebuilding Abia. And we don't want somebody to come bring us down to the valley of Ono to begin to talk about negotiations, to begin to talk about peace. I have said it earlier on that we can win this election with or without him. Because you don't even discuss peace with somebody who does not have the same vision you have. Even though you said you asked his man whether they are interested in winning this election, and they said yes. But I doubt that much. Because if a man who did not participate in his party's governorship primaries can begin to lay claim to the ticket, you begin to wonder if this person is not a spoiler, if this person is not bought over to do what he is doing. More so when this is his stock in trade along all the parties he has belonged to, from AMPP to PDP to this point. He will always be a governorship candidate that never participated in the primaries, they will be dragging and claiming tickets with whoever won. And he will continue to be in court even when that tenure is over. Go and check the records and look at his antecedents.
Okay, Honorable, this bird that is always dancing, strange dance, where do you suspect the beat is coming from?
Your guess is as good as mine.
No, let's hear your own first.
Your guess is as good as mine. There's a sitting government in ABIA that APC wants to unseat. And you know, the climb we belong to, the party in power will always have all manner of, carrots to dangle, right? And we believe that is what is happening in this case. When you look at ABGA, you will also see a trend like
So what
this.
exactly are you saying, sir?
Yes, what I am saying is that what is happening in APC today is nothing other than the party in power that is struggling to retain power.
So you're saying they are being sponsored by the PDP?
Well, you have said it.
The party in power is PDP.
Yes.
No, but then it means that what you have is not strong. If the enemy can come at night and sow a weed, it means what you have is not. It means there is no security, no fortification in your.
That is not what it means, and I want to give you a good example.
Okay.
We had a servant leader, Jesus Christ, who was God personified, right? He had 12 apostles. What did one of them do? The love of money.
The Judas.
Thank you.
But
So that it doesn't mean that Jesus was not fortified, he was not strong, but somebody who loved,
Okay, sir. As it stands today, all this going back and forth on legal issues concerning the crisis in your party, are you ready to settle out of court if there's any need for that?
I have told you, if the prodigal son repents and comes home, we throw a party for him, we welcome him, and put him where he belongs.
Where he belongs?
Yes, in the party hierarchy. But if he doesn't...
The prodigal son was restored to his place.
Yeah, that's what I said, where he belongs.
As a chieftain. Where does he belong?
Yes.
Okay.
I said it earlier on, one of the leaders of the party, and there are several others.
Okay,
Right.
just for emphasis.
We take a break now, and when we return, we take calls. And I know there are reactions as it concerns the discussion, the interaction we're having with Honorable Martins Azubike right here in the studios of Flow 94.9 FM. It is the State of the Nation right here, the Thursday edition, and we're looking at what is happening right here in the All Progressives Congress as it concerns the party here in Abia State. We will be right back.
Ndewonu kedu ka gospel stage bụrụ obodo na-agba lasị na good governance tụfiakwa nke agaghị eme ọzọ uche ọ ga onye ihe ọma na dị mma apụtala ime ka obodo anyị dị mma ọ ga-arụrụ anyị ezi okporo ụzọ nye ụmụaka free education si n'ogugo primary ruo secondary ndị ọrụ gọọmenti na pensioners ga na-eri ụgwọ ọnwa ha kwamgbe ọ ga-akwụsị multiple taxation atụgharịa business people keke riders motor drivers na ndị ọzọ ga-enwe aṅụrị Aba City ga-ama mma karịa ka ọ dị na mbụ Abia steeti ga-abụ steeti eji amatụ ya mere mama na papa brother na sister ka weta PVC gị ka anyị tụnyere uche ọ ga for governor Abia 2019 obodo anyị ga-adị mma APC everywhere you go Njoga dey reign. Let Abia rejoice. Njoga jioma we bia.
All right, it is still the State of the Nation right here on Flow 94.9 FM. Well, the conversation has been engaging right here, talking about the All Progressives Congress in Abia State. The phone lines 0808-182-6949, 0811-605-2949. You can also drop your messages on the SMS line 0906-510-8289. Good evening to you.
Good evening, gentlemen of the press.
Good evening.
Owakwe Chidebere on the line. Good evening, Honorable.
Good evening, Mr. Chidebere.
Thank you, sir. Please, I want to ask you a question, Honorable. Earlier before now, those journalists at the studio asked you a question. Is there any problem in your party? You said no. There is no problem in your party. Lately, they asked you, who do you think that is behind all this problem in your party? You laid the accusing finger on PDP, meaning there is a problem. There is no two ways about that. That is number one. Number two is this. Does this mean that Ndengwa deserves only deputy governor? That they don't deserve to be a sitting governor like Abia North and Abia Central took 8 terms? I'm begging you, my brother. I know that Master Niji have a very good heart to do good things in Abia State, but I'm begging him. He should come down. Okay,
all right, is that your question, please? No campaign on the program. Is that your question?
After this, he will take.
All right, go straight up to the questions, please. No campaign on the program. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Change your location because your line is very bad. All right, call back. Good evening to you.
Hello?
Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Michael.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good evening, my big brothers in the studio.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
I remember Mr. Prince Losago from Chinobo local government area.
All right, you're welcome.
Our people, only I'm going to speak in Igbo a bit. Ndo life na mbadadari biwuru dinta. This issue happening in APC is a very big other parties, most importantly PDP and the other party, ABIA. Now, Olaro to me, in one of his books, he said that he that God wants to kill, he first of all makes that person mad. I think that is a complete spanner in the wheel of APC in Abia State. If this matter even ends in favor of the other man in appeal, it's likely that it's going to end up in Supreme Court. For how long? So there's a complete problem in that APC now, which invariably is an advantageous to the other two parties. That's my thing. God bless in the studio.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Flow family.
Good evening.
I'm Tim from One.
All right, you're welcome.
Honorable Mazen.
Nde.
Okay, can't call.
Wonderful.
Okay. Mine is just a contribution and a word of encouragement. Honorable Jishike, about this with you people. Very again. Now, what I know area. I need a state and now I need a name. I want you that I'm fully in support of your candidature, especially you, because it's assumed that somehow you tested light and you knew that is not a correct light. You went for a better light. God will bless you. God will be with you. God will be with you.
All right, thank you very much. Your time is up. Okay. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Samson.
Good evening.
Yeah, my name is St. Patrick. I'm calling from Momaya.
All right, you're welcome.
My take on this is about EKHMNK. We're just there to receive Abians. I don't want Uche Oga to win this election. It's just I believe that he's there to maybe his opposition party that is sponsoring him. As for that party, that APC secretariat at Otakuri Road, that is not APC secretariat. The only secretariat we know in Omahaya is the one at Atikwe Road. So that one is the EKHMNK house. It's not a APC secretariat.
So we don't regard that has affected APC secretariat. That's my own take. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next caller. Good evening to you.
Good evening. This is Loman, the prophet from Mumbai.
All right, thank you for calling back.
Yes. Honorable, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Loman.
Yeah, please. You know, there is a proverb that says, when two brothers fight, strangers always reach the heaven. It's quite unfortunate that two brothers that would have joined together to make their party formidable are fighting. And they have not even told the reason why they are fighting against each other. And they don't want to allow the other person to stand. The other person doesn't want the other person to stand. And the only thing I will advise you people is that you people should tell yourselves to shit the soil. Otherwise, before you know it, the water, the stream will just carry that small pot and pass away. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Loman the Prophet. The last call, and we call it a day on the program this evening. Good evening to you.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Michael.
Good evening, you're welcome.
Thank you. Mamasa. Yes, please. What I have to actually say here is, my name is Emmanuel, actually, from Umobia University. PDP and APC wahala here is not actually a problem for us, because it's election period and we know who to vote. PDP have not done anything in this state, and I'll keep telling everybody, my youth, my friends, I tell them, because they need to come on radio and keep making noise, telling us what they've done. No, we see. And what we have seen is what we'll vote, and we'll surely vote for Alex. Thank you, God bless you.
Like I say, no campaign on the program, okay? Try as much as possible to stay on the issue. All right, I think we're done with the calls. You want to respond to some of the comments by the callers?
Thank you. The first caller, Mr. Huwakwe, talked about problem in APC, and that I also said the problem is caused by PDP, when I have said earlier on that there is no problem. What we said before was that there is no faction in APC, that APC is led by Honorable Donatus Wampa, right? And there's a big difference between faction and problem. Yes, we have problem of MNK trying to truncate the change agenda of APC in ABIA State. And he's being used as a mode to do that. But we are not distracted, we are focused, and we are on course. It's a legal matter, and we will face it legally. He talked about the issue of why not allow the Ngwa man to finish his governorship as in other zones. Is it deputy governor that is better? My take on this is that we have come to a point in this state where we need to emphasize ABIA first. Yes, you may talk about equity. Equity can bring you into office, but what needs to sustain you in that office is performance. We cannot throw away performance, development of our state on the altar of equity. 4 years wasted, and we, the young ones in ABIA, feel we should not go through that route again. It's unfortunate, but I am a proud Ngwa son, and I'm a proud Abian. We need to build our state. We need to develop our state. And wherever we can get answers for our developmental problems, we will take it, notwithstanding where the person comes from. Non-payment of salaries today is not affecting non-Ngwans alone. Ngwas are also being affected. Bad roads affect everybody, notwithstanding where you come from in this state. And that is why we need to emphasize the development of our states far and above clannish sentiments.
All right, thank you very much. Our time is fast spent, Right Honorable Martins Azubike. Well, I think that's how far we can go today on this program, State of the Nation. It's a special edition to look into what is happening in the All Progressives Congress in Abia State. Something?
Yeah, Michael, it's a wrap. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Martins Azubike, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
A short notice. Okay.
Yeah, we must also establish that he was one time Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly. Of course, you know that's my constituency.
Okay.
Yes, I cover Abia State House of Assembly.
Ginika, keep selling yourself.
Yes, and he is the deputy governorship candidate for the All Progressives Congress. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having
guys,
me.
it's a wrap on the program this evening. Samson Ginika Olu.
Many thanks to great Imo for pulling the Honorable to the studio. Thank you very much. Even a comrade.
My name is Michael Onedu. Join us later tomorrow on Politics Right Now. That's on another political program. And also, the debate continues. We will be having the senatorial candidate of the Abia North Senatorial District slugging it out. Stay tuned. And this is Flow 94.9 FM.
Do you wish to become area of solar electricity? Do you wish to acquire knowledge in solar electricity design, installation, implementation, and commission? Then join Cape Power Engineering Company Solar Academy on 2-week intensive practical training that gives you the opportunity to learn professional skills in solar electricity, start a career in solar energy sector, make an outstanding contribution in the solar energy industry, and then become a certified solar expert. Find your way to Cape Power Engineering Company at